Hello everybody, True here, bringing you another True review. Today it is Walk of the Light on the Xbox One. It's currently available as we speak. It's only available in US regions, I believe, and it's priced at $6.99. Unfortunately, the curse of Peggy strikes again, and we won't be seeing it anytime soon this side of the pond. But what we do have with Walk of the Light? Well, you play as Charlie, who's a construction worker who has an unfortunate accident. As you can see, he's falling to his death at the moment, but this mysterious light comes out of nowhere and slows his descent and saves Charlie. Charlie gets very calm, and look, he's just chilling out there as he's gonna hit the ground. He's got no fears anymore, and that's where the adventure begins, straight into the action, which is what I'd like to see with a game. Nice little bit of story. We've kind of grasped the idea, and now he's got to get out of these caves with the aid of this mysterious light. So how does he go about that? Well, you control the light with the right stick. As you can see, it's moving around there, and you control Charlie with your left stick, but Charlie won't move unless he's actually in the light, because he's can't see where he's going, so the light source needs to be with Charlie. Now, as you can see, when you complete a level there, you get a final completion time, a best ever completion time, and the record completion time. Now, you can ignore the record completion time if you're not a completionist or going for achievements, because they only are relevant to that. You have to tie or beat the record on each of the game's levels, which I believe there's 50 of. I've not actually completed the game myself as of yet, so I've not played through all 50 levels. But that's the general gist of it. So we get introduced to new things as we go along through the levels. Now, I'm not going to show you actually too much of the game itself, because these kind of games get spoiled if you see people play them too much. But I'll just go through basics for you. So as you can imagine, it could get problematic, like moving the light in time with Charlie. So you do have his handy B button, which will lock it onto Charlie there. So then he can just move left and right as a normal platforming character would. So out that level, and introducing some more gameplay mechanics, we now have jump pads, because Charlie can't jump by himself there. So again, lock on, hit the jump pads, out the door we go. Next level, same thing, learns you about air control. Very nice introductory to new elements. This game is very clear and concise, and you know exactly what you want to do. Then we get added to a bit more complexity here, where you can zoom the level out, and you can actually control Charlie in this method if you wish, if you want to see an overall view of the level. And we get introduced to like machinery now, so we have to highlight the light switch, which raises the lift up. Once Charlie's at the top there, switch it back to him and out the door. So I won't go into any more of the mechanics really, but be rest assured that new elements are constantly being introduced, from mysterious portals to like torches, which you've just seen me pick up there. The game always adds something and brings something new to the table, which keeps the journey through the 50 or so levels very, very interesting and very fresh, because you're always you know, getting a new challenge or a new thing, a new element to actually think about within the actual game itself. So graphically, well, I think it explains itself great on the screen really. I mean, the game like this, I think, needs simplistic graphics. It doesn't need anything overcomplicated, which just simply gets in the way. And this game just does things brilliantly, if you ask me. The Charlie's clearly defined. You definitely know you're in a cave, that's for sure. The doors are clear, the switches are clear, the whole level layout is clear. Even when you zoom out and play it in zoomed out view, you can it's highly playable in both modes, and I think it just does what it needs to do. Sure, it doesn't push the Xbox One in any shape or form, you know, but it doesn't have to. The graphics for me are always the extras. You need a core gameplay to be good first and foremost, and graphics can come later. I mean, give me a game that looks like a dog but plays like a star any day of the week. Sound wise, again, nothing really to write home about the sound, but generally you won't be listening to the sound that much. You'll be more concentrating on the puzzles and thinking, how the hell do I get the record times going? And that leads to my main criticism about the game, is if you are an achievement hunter, it's probably not going to be that difficult with a lot of repetition and a lot of practice, but my biggest bugbear with the levels I've experienced so far, and I've probably progressed just over halfway through the game on my other save file, is that there's very little margin for error on the record times. The times in question, you literally have to nail that perfect run to get the times. There's just zero margin for error in them, which is a little bit of a shame really, because sometimes the physics are a little bit inconsistent. Like for example, this a jump here on one of the earlier levels, you can you simply, I mean, I'll go back to it actually. I'll go back to the level that I'm talking about. I think it's level 3. Yeah, level 3 here, for example. Okay, so it's this one. You simply have to lock onto him here and just run to get through the door. So if we reset the level again, okay. See, you didn't make the jump that time, even though I'm just pushing the same right. There's a little bit of inconsistency with the physics, and sometimes you'll just fail things for no fault of your own. To me, it should be consistent every time you do it. You should get the same results, and every now and then you don't. You get a little anomaly where it doesn't do the same thing really. I suppose that keeps it kind of fresh, I suppose, but it's supposed to be a game is meant to be consistent. It works on rules, and why it does that I simply don't know, and that's a bit of annoying really, because you could be doing the right thing to actually progress through a level, but just the game's kind of screwing you over on it just by making you move a little bit slower or slightly hitting a platform, for example. So you may disregard that method to actually complete it, and then obviously be looking down the wrong alleyway to try and solve the problem. But yeah, it's a very, very entertaining game, and I mean, and for the price as well, you can't really go wrong. I mean, $6.99 for a game like this is well worth it in my opinion. Sure, there's going to be very little to no replayability value other than going for the records there, and that's really all the achievement list contains. It's beat all the levels at Tide or beat the times and just complete the game. There's nothing really in between really. There's no miscellaneous ones for you to get. But games like this, people will say, don't need to be on the Xbox One, and I completely disagree. These are games that definitely need to be on the Xbox One. Why should platforms like PC just have fun little games like this? Consoles are not just for AAA games and things like that. Definitely deserves to be its place on the Xbox One, and I really hope they bring this to Europe. For those who don't know, you can do the region switching, but that's a argument for another video in why games don't come to other regions, which I am currently working on actually, so do keep an eye out for that. But for the moment anyway, I'm going to give Walk in the Light, or Walk the Light. I always keep calling it Walk in the Light for some reason. Walk the Light is going to get a very highly recommended from myself there, and no reason to wait off in buying this, and I can't play while talking, so I'm going to leave that here guys. Thanks for watching.